AITA the play cheating songs whenever my dad's side piece walks in, causing her have a breakdown. Hi, I don't want to appear like a brat, so Lil put some context first. I 16F and my 3 brothers 101 to 13. We had a happy home life until my mom saw my dad with his mistress and his other children at another church she was volunteering for. Shit hit the fan on my dad's side and he was disowned. The divorce happened. He married her within a month of his divorce and he got married on the day our sibling died. It was effing up time and I hated him more as every day passed. Our feelings and opinions were ignored, and when we refused to visit my dad, they threatened to give my dad full custody and we'd never see my mom again if we didn't cooperate. Unfortunately, we see him every weekend and some weeks during the holidays. It's been 2 years and we hate them both even more. I don't speak to her 6 children 1 to 12, which she has reprimanded us all for this and took food, clothes, toys, games, etc. away until we submitted. I used to hoard food in my room that I share with my youngest brother, and we'd stay in our room until it's time to go home. As of recently, she's taken the door from my room as she found the food, and we've had to sleep in the living room, and we are not allowed to leave unless we need to use the bathroom, which we've got to ask permission for. Anyway, I got sick of her shit and started playing cheating songs on full volume. She's been screaming, shouting, and crying to my dad, so Elle stopped doing so until she walked in the room, and if she stayed in the room, I kept playing them and singing along. This has been our new normal for the past couple of weeks now, and my brothers have joined in too. I will not allow my mom or sister to be disrespected or have them try and force me and my siblings to call her mom. We don't want to be there, never have, never will, but they just don't get it and are selfish and self-centered. Last week she had a breakdown which I don't feel is my fault, however her mom insists it is, and I be sent to the wilderness camps for troubled teens. Her 3 oldest have realized how she met our dad and have refused to visit her in the hospital too. AITA? First comment. Tell your mom, teachers, school counselors, any and every adult you interact with that while at your father's house you get punished by withholding food and clothes. This is child abuse. Take pictures of what you can and upload them to something safe or send them to someone you can trust. Compile all the evidence of the abuse that you can. Having to ask permission to go to the bathroom is also abuse to be reported. These actions will most likely result in your father losing any right and custody. At the ages of you and your siblings, Child Protective Services should take your experiences and preferences into account and recommend removing you from this toxic environment. Yeah, they will know you are biased against them, but that doesn't give them the right to abuse you. They cannot force you to call her mom or accept her kids as your siblings. Things like that just cause more resentment and normally causes the kid going no contact as soon as they are adults. Good luck and NTA. Second comment, I am 46F and I love the pettiness you have in you. Keep it up. You are awesome and please don't stop screwing with her. She and your father deserve all they have coming to them. Maybe find songs about terrible husbands and fathers to play for your dad. I am extra petty, so I would hide tuna around in her clothes in the closet, or put eggs in the vents in her room. Sardines and curtain rods, all the classics. If she gets crazy enough and cannot be around all the time and dad had to work, then you might get to spend more time with your mom. I say keep up the petty and kick it up a notch. You got nothing else to do but plot revenge. Go for it. She will regret not only the affair, but she will regret every messing with you. Keep kicking ass and have no sympathy when none has been given to you. I have kids, and if they were being treated like this, I would buy the supplies and do the research on the most petty crazy things to help my kids. Messed up? Maybe, but you do not mess with my kids. If you want more petty moves, you can DM me. Good luck. Third comment, this goes a lot deeper than whether or not you think you might be the A. Are you handling the situation in the best way? Probably not, but you currently have very little resources at hand. You are telling your father and his wife that you cannot accept things without actually saying it. What kind of man is your father? If you try to speak to him, will he listen and try to find a resolution, or would he push the whole issue aside? Talking to him like a man about how you and your siblings are feeling about the current situation would be a good first step, even if he refuses to listen. The point is that you tried. Your next step would be to involve Child Protective Services. It doesn't sound like you and your siblings are receiving exemplary care under the watch of your father's wife. There may be some cause to deny visitations any further. Is your mother in any position to open the custody battle again? You and your siblings are old enough to choose whether or not you want to see your father, and a judge would not usually deny a child's insistence against visitation. How is your mother dealing with your situation? If she deems that there is any hint of unacceptable treatment happening at your father's house, then she should be using her own resources to protect you from that. Talk to your school counselor. They have resources that might be helpful for you. You really should speak to your father, even if it's just to tell him that, as soon as you are all old enough to be released from custody, he will never see you again due to the choices he made and continues to make. If that doesn't make him begin enforcing changes, then he is proving that he doesn't care enough. Ideally, reopening the custody is probably the best thing that can be done here. In the end, don't feel bad for doing the only things you can to get your point across in an impossible situation. Fourth comment, your mother's attorney is failing. They should be asking for a change of venue, or for your father's friends to step down and have a judge from another area step in. The fact that that isn't happening is insane. Since your dad has pull with all the bigwigs and important people in your area, your mom needs this case to be heard outside his sphere of influence. How your dad is getting away with abusing his children is disgusting. As many have said, you'll want to document as much ABSE as you can. Whether by video recording or written, you'll want dates and timestamps on all of it. If written, just the facts. Stepmom did this. Dad said that. No emotions. Now that dad's wife's older kids realize what kind of person she is, they may become your biggest allies in that home you have. They may be willing to help with evidence, but you may not want to go that route, which I understand. Fifth comment, NTA, and may I just add dang. Op, you have the shiniest spine I've even seen on a teenager. It'll take you great places in life. As to your problem, as others have said, start a record of the neglect and punishments. I believe part of having custody is that the children have a room it can be shared by same-sex siblings with a door. She certainly shouldn't be starving you or your siblings for your compliance also. It's just plain ABSA. Obviously, the rules in different countries aren't the same, but it would definitely be worth researching or having a conversation with a social worker or your country's equivalent. Also, you didn't say who threatened you with full custody for your father if you didn't go. But unless it was a judge, you should certainly report that as well. And I know you're at an age where a judge would consider your feelings, but I hope you'll continue to go for your brother's sake until they're old enough to opt out too. I hate to think what she'd do to them without you there. I know it's an undeserved burden and it shouldn't be yours to carry, but they're your brothers and they need an advocate. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm heartbroken for you. The last few years sound nightmarish for you and your siblings and mom, of course.